Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Lauren and you're watching Social Work Scrapbook. If you're new, this channel is for new and aspiring social workers, so I think you're in the perfect place. And today I'm talking about clinical note-taking. Throughout the video, I will give you a brief hypothetical scenario and a sample of how each note would be written. Note-taking is very, very important, and I think sometimes we can get locked into kind of a free-form note-taking where you're jotting down what's happening, but there really isn't any structure to your note. That can throw a wrench into how much you're getting done, and it can almost make you feel stuck. So today I'm going to describe 4 of the most common ways to take a clinical note. I'm going to start with my most preferred method, and that's called the SOAP note. To walk you through a SOAP note, the S stands for subjective, so you basically write a sentence on what the client reports in session. So for mine, I put reports suicidal ideation, period. You can also provide personal history or any other information you've gathered there. The O is going to stand for objective. These are factual things that you saw in session, and so what I saw were scratches and cuts visible on the wrist. The A is your clinical assessment. So A stands for assessment, and you basically put together your subjective and objective, and then you come up with what you think is really happening. So client is at risk of suicide, and then P is your plan. The next method is very similar to the SOAP note method, and it's commonly referred to as the DAP note. DAP stands for data assessment / response and plan. So data in this format is going to include both subjective and objective. They're both crammed in there under my data. And then my assessment / response is going to include my clinical impressions. So what I believe is happening. And then the last letter is P, stands for plan. So this is what you plan on doing or any revisions you've made to your original treatment plan. Basic SID notes. The basic SID note is a little lengthy, but it is very true to social work. So you start with the behavior and whatever you see your client doing or not doing. A is going to be their affect or their mood. S is going to be any sensation. So this includes the 5 senses and any stimuli in that respect. I is your imagery, any fantasies, flashbacks. C is going to be their self-talk or their personal narrative. S is going to be their spiritual or religious state and whether, that has any impact on what's going on in the session. I is going to be interpersonal, their level of social skills. And then D is the drug or biological, which is very helpful information to have. The most recent type of note format is the GILLMAN HIPPA progress note. Using the same example, the GILLMAN HIPPA is closest to a freeform note that I've found. You do need to record your start and end time of your session that begins your note, and then your treatment modality is also at the top of your note. So I use solution-based approach with this same client. And then you want to show what you're seeing in the session as well as their functional status. So how well they're adjusting or coping with their issues at hand, any possible diagnosis, and then your follow-up plan. So those were the 4 common types of clinical note-taking and a way to structure them. You will slowly find which one you prefer best. Each note is organized in a certain way that helps you to see the client progression. They give you a really great snapshot of each session so that when you're kind of feeling stuck, you can look back through these little snapshots and see what's been working, maybe what's not been working, and then where you can go from there. If these 4 common types of clinical note-taking doesn't seem to fit, or you just feel it's not right, it's not something that I'm comfortable with, by all means, stick with your free-form note-taking. You can watch my next video, which is going to be on how to structure your own free-form note so that you're not missing any pieces in your own snapshot of your sessions with your clients. Stay tuned for that video. Thank you for being social workers, and thanks for watching. See you soon.